NYPD of a confrontation between an officer and a young woman in Harlem.
It comes after viral cell phone video showed an arrest that turned violent Tuesday. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor reports that Mayor Adams is defending the officers. Several body cam videos released by the NYPD show the chaos during the arrest of 22-year-old Elvin James, wanted in connection for an attempted murder.
So this guy's wanted in contempt, or basically this guy has a connection with murder. So clearly it's a big issue.
The NYPD says he had a loaded semi-automatic ghost gun on him.
The loaded semi-automatic ghost gun? What is that? So you can clearly see this guy's wanted for murder or association with murder. He has a loaded semi-automatic ghost gun. As you can see, this is nothing to play with.
He was grabbing for his waistband.
Another key point, he was grabbing for his waistband. So they don't have time to be fooling around, playing around with people acting retarded.
Girl Tamani Crum walks up to James.
Tamani
From
Crum.
this angle, you see her interaction with the officer.
Now, I had watched the original confrontation here, the first video that they put out there. I'm glad the other videos came out, and it's very important, especially now in today's age, to have this, because that first video almost will make it look like the police officer is just pushing her out the way for no reason. That did not happen, as these new videos show here. And I do want to point out again, I understand that there's obviously police brutality exists. Deviant people in all fashions of life exist, but that's definitely not in this case here.
She falls backward to the ground. Here's a different angle.
Now, that right there, as you can see, she put her hands on the officer. A police officer does not have time to deal with this. They don't have time. You're putting your hands on them. They're trying to apprehend a criminal, possible murder suspect here. And here you are walking up, basically dishonoring and in an attempt to shame the police officer. He has every right to defend himself, especially in the seriousness of this situation. Knowing that this guy has a gun, what if he pulled the gun out? What if he was too busy worrying about her? He pulls the gun out and shoots somebody. You don't know how this guy's going to react, and she wants to be crazy. I'm not sure if she's acting out of love or spite, whatever.
Was taken into custody. This was the cell phone video that went viral.
As you can see, that cell phone video is not a good angle. So it gives the illusion of a cop just looking up, getting mad, and then attacking her. Not the case.
Tuesday on West 136th Street, prompting some residents to call for an investigation into the NYPD.
And here's the thing. They keep saying she's only 19 years old. What do you mean only 19 years old? She's had enough years of existence in this life to know right from wrong and know when it's something a good idea or a bad idea. If it was a 19-year-old male, would it be any different? And then let this be a lesson to women. Look at how much, look at the size of this woman. There's a lot of women, you watch these movies and videos, and you think that you can actually go into hand-to-hand combat with a male. Look at this here. The average woman is going to be like this. It was a joke, and she was actually knocked out in less than 2 seconds.
The NYPD says Crum interfered with the arrest, quote, striking one of the officers. That officer fended off that interference and struck the woman with an open hand. The woman was placed under arrest for obstructing governmental administration, remained conscious, and was transported to an area hospital at her request. Wednesday night.
That's quite generous, actually.
Pleaded not guilty to that charge
of
and
course.
was released on her own recognizance.
What?
Her attorney said he was pleased the district attorney decided not to charge her with assault.
So they even let her off the hook here. So I'm not sure what the problem is. They let her off the hook. She assaulted an officer. That the badge comes with authority, whether you like it or not. It's like anyone in the military outfit, president of the United States, whether you like it or not, people have positions of authority and they have to be upheld and respected for specific reasons. In this case, you're a representation of the law. You're obstructing justice if you go against what they say. Now they are held just as accountable. Yes, there are deviant ones, but in this case, this is not true.
An officer for resisting arrest, but
He absolutely used excessive force. We're talking about a 19-year-old
Says Jaime Santana Jr., defense
young
attorney.
girl versus a grown man who was approximately 3 times her body weight.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If she would have been 300 pounds, he would have had to do the same thing. She's obstructing justice. That was not excessive. He didn't jump on her and start pounding her in the face. He didn't put his knee on her neck and just sit there. He got her out the way.
And size.
Mayor Eric Adams, a former NYPD officer, responded to the video.
Those officers showed great restraint. They didn't discharge their weapons. They subdued him. While they were subduing him, a crowd came and attempted to disrupt the arrest.
He says there's an investigation into what happened, but
If you look at the video, the young lady was inches away from the person who was armed with that gun. That action endangered those police.
Key point there. This guy was armed. It wasn't like the gun was somewhere in the distance. At any moment, if he would have got free, he could have put the gun out and did anything. Do you want your children or the people living in the buildings adjacent to that? If that was your family in there and the police were being obstructed from doing their job because of this young lady, that guy could have put out a gun, fired it, bullet ricocheted, hit your daughter or your son in the face.
Police officers.
police say another woman was charged for allegedly punching an officer in the head, and another issued a summons for spitting on one. The NYPD also says that Elvin James was allegedly found with a large amount of a controlled substance on him. Outside the
Of course he was.
in Harlem. Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
Again, I have nothing personal against these people or anything like that. I'm just, just observation, straight up facts here. This was not abuse of authority. The woman was obstructing justice. He did what he needed to do to subdue her. She weighs like $150, got pushed down. Women observe this because I know you think you can fight everybody. You cannot. Pushed her down. She about knocked herself out. Then they, as a good gesture, they let her off. If you disagree or agree, you can post it in the comments. At the end of the day, these are just the ramblings of a madman. Some of the information that I present is backed by science and research. Some of the information that I present is subjective and opinionated. After an objective analysis, you can make your own conclusions. Nevertheless, just remember, these are the ramblings of a madman.